The search for Michael Vaughan continues. Michael went missing from his neighborhood in Fruitland in July of 2021. He was just 5 years old at the time. Law enforcement has spent the last year and a half investigating. But the Fruitland police chief says a credible tip led investigators to a home near Michael's neighborhood this weekend.
Crews are back out in Fruitland today searching for Michael Vaughan. Police believe his remains are in the backyard of a Fruitland home, and today is the 6th day crews are excavating the yard. Crews could be at the house on Red Wing Street for another week. This house is just 4 minutes from the Vaughn's home.
As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wondra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wondra's home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wondra's residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed.
Evidence suggests that the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Sarah Wondra, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Sarah Wondra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement. And STACEY Wondra, 30 years old, a male. STACEY was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that STACEY has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and STACEY Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrian Lucian, 32-year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrian was staying with Sarah and STACEY Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Missing PNW Crimes Revisited. Today is November 17th, 2025, the day that STACEY WONDRA was arraigned in court in Idaho. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate you and just love the way that Monkey's Army has came out and supported the Vaughan family, supported Monkey, all of the support from everyone that I've been getting lately. Brandi was in here earlier. Hold on one second. Sorry, I had a tickle. All right. I want to find Brandi was in here. I saw her just a little bit ago. There she is. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are well. It was a very busy day in the waiting line to get Buggy from school. Oh, goodness. Good little Buggy. Mama Bear, Brandi Neal Vaughan also says, thank you all for being here and continuously being here for Michael. It is greatly appreciated, Sam. We love you and thank you for all you do. I might pop in a little later. And then she says, if I don't pop in, just know that I care and love you and love for you all very much, and try to have a great week and try to do something kind for one another and yourself. Smiles and hugs, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, Brandi. If you're still around listening, and we'd love to see you. I hope that, being in that courtroom as STACEY WONDRA was being arraigned and read his rights gave you even more strength pushing forward. And I know that it was probably difficult, but I know that it is something you've been waiting for. The Vaughans, your family, have been waiting for a very long time. We're here. We're supporting you. We love you. We're never going to stop fighting for justice. And this is just one more step forward in getting justice for Michael. And I wouldn't rather be anywhere else than covering this right now. If I seem a little bit distracted, I had something happen right before this live today that shook me to my core. It was a phone call from a medical examiner's office here where I live in Clark County, Vancouver, Washington. And this woman on the phone starts mentioning my son's name, my sister's name, because they have connections to somebody that we know that recently passed. And I thought something had happened to either my sister or my son. And I'm not going to lie when I tell you I lost it. I just got off the phone with my son. I had to hear his voice. I had to know he was okay. And yeah, that happening right before this live really, really shook me up. But I am here. I'm ready to talk. My son's okay. My sister's okay. We're all fine. But I need my brain to think. That's what I need right now. My brain to think. And I need to, why would a medical examiner's office call me and start talking about my family members the way that she did? It was not professional at all. And yeah, kind of hit me really hard. So anyway, we are here to talk about STACEY WONDRA being extradited from Arizona back to Idaho and having an arraignment first thing this morning. Idaho isn't wasting any time. They are not wasting any time. And now that I've seen these court documents, I mean, STACEY has had knowledge of these charges for a while now, and while serving time in federal prison in Arizona. We heard Brandi Vaughan announce that she saw these charges, and there has been no delay whatsoever on STACEY's charges after Brandi announced that. Huge. Just no delay whatsoever. And we're going over the court documents today. We are going over everything. Let's see who is here. Peas in a pod. Thank you so much for coming. In my opinion, other warrants are waiting for their releases from jail and prison. Oh, yeah. Mayhem is in the house. Thank you for coming in. My beautiful moderators, Halo, Hair Curlers in Crime. Thank you guys so much for coming. All of my moderators. ICU is in the house. Renee is here. Callie Dime, another beautiful moderator in the house. I did speak with Avi earlier. If she's not here, she'll probably be here soon. The real Rockin' Robin. Hello, good to see you, Rockin' Robin. Tweet. Every time I hear that name, it's all I can think about is little Michael Jackson, 5, 6 years old, singing Rockin' Robin. What was it, on American Bandstand or something, I think? Oh, that's how old I am. Mama B is here. Good to see you. We've been having a lot of new faces show up in chat. Wood Chipper is here. If you haven't been here for long, Rhonda is also here. Please hit the notification bell, subscribe. I do spur of the moment lives all the time. So you definitely want to subscribe or hit the notification bell or both. If there are creators here that want to use information, or even people that want information, that want to learn more about the case, discuss the case, you can go over to Michael Vaughan, Case Revisited on Facebook. A lot of my information from my live shows go up in that Facebook group. I do post some things here in the community, but mostly in the group. Who else is here? Buzzy Fuzzy Butt. I laughed about your name the other day. Great to have you here again. Thank you for coming over. Marlena. Thank you. Oh my God, oh Sam, that's horrible. I'm so sorry, sweetie. I tell you what, no parent should ever have to lose their child. And I don't ever I don't ever want to have that feeling again. Ever. I want to go before my kids. I don't ever want to feel that feeling I had. I just... Whew. Thank you, Halo Art. I appreciate you so much. It was... Yeah. It wasn't good. It was not good. Thank you guys so much. I just had to let you guys know what happened before this live because I'm so shaken up. I want to talk about it. I just want to be able to read things, read the documents and everything without stuttering. And I'm still shaking, physically shaking. My arms are still shaking. So To hear something like that is horrific. And, you know, it made me instantly think of Brandi and her family and what they've gone through and having to hear what they've heard. I mean, it doesn't compare because my son's still here. But to get a phone call at all that something could have happened, my heart's definitely with the Vaughan family today. Jemima in the house, thank you so much for being here. Trying to get to everybody in chat. Opal, always with her beautiful, loving, kind words, just a gentle reminder you are appreciated. Don't ever give up on yourself, and don't listen to others who give up on you. You matter, and I believe in you. Thank you, Opal. Such a beautiful heart. I love you. I heard that Brandi was even on the news. Superman's grandma. Thank you for coming. I heard that Brandi was even on the news. I have several news clips to go over, court documents to go over. I found as many of the court or the news stuff that I could go over today. Mick Bourne from Scotland in the house. Thank you so much for coming. I had somebody else come in earlier saying that they were from Scotland too. Where did he go? He was way up here earlier. Bubba, here he is. Thank you for coming in. We'll be here watching live from Scotland. Much love, Michael's family. Thank you. People from all over the world are starting to really pay attention to this case. Danielle is here. Diana, thank you for coming. Jonathan. Clark is here. Rizzo in the house. Hello, hello. So many familiar and unfamiliar faces. Thank you guys for coming. STACEY WONDRA was extradited and arraigned. And we're going over it. We're going over all of it. One thing I do want to talk about. First of all, I told everybody that I was going to look into the fact whether or not Sarah Wondra has been charged. There are creators saying that she has been charged. There is an affidavit written on Sarah Wondra. It's dated for 6/11/2025, the same as this affidavit. We're going to learn about more affidavits or maybe changes to affidavits. I'm not sure today, but I want to share something real quick with everybody. Shannon is here. Thank you so much for coming. Sarah, the other Sarah is here. Shannon and Sarah are here. I'm tongue-tied. Thank you guys for being kind to one another. Linda is here. Thank you so much for coming. Let me just share something that I found. Okay. The man accused of unaliving Michael Vaughan arraigned in court. This is today. The man accused of kidnapping and unaliving Michael Monkey Vaughan is in court Monday to be arraigned for charges of murder and kidnapping. STACEY WONDRA has been charged with murder in the first degree, kidnapping in the second degree, destruction of evidence, and persistent violator of the Payette County prosecutor in the case of Michael Vaughan, who vanished from his Fruitland home 4 years ago. A persistent violator of the Payette County prosecutor. Michael Vaughan was 5 years old when he was taken from his Fruitland home, in his neighborhood. July 27, 2021, a frantic search began as police scoured the area but with no sign of him anywhere, days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months. CBS2 first sat down with Brandi, Neil, Michael's mother, in December of that year. Nearly a year and a half after his disappearance, the first significant break in the case, when Fruitland police began tearing apart and digging up the backyard of a home just a few blocks from where Michael first went missing. Police were digging for remains after receiving a tip that he had been buried there. And now we know that this tip came from STACEY WONDRA. The home belonged to Sarah and STACEY WONDRA. We would later learn through leaked police footage that STACEY was directing police via video call to where he claimed Sarah had buried the body of Michael Vaughan. And he also says that Adrian was helping her. Sarah Wondra has not yet officially been charged by the prosecutor. CBS2 News are in court for the hearing, and we will continue to update this story as we learn more. Sarah Wondra has not been charged officially. She has not. I have even spoken with family members close to Brandi, and they have not heard of any news of Sarah officially being charged. So, whatever everybody is hearing, just letting you guys know, she has not. Melissa, thank you so much for coming in, hun. I really appreciate you. C-Star is here. Coco Pop. Yankee Kyle is here. Thank you so much for coming in, Yankee. Thank you for your comments and just all of the support. I really do appreciate it. So, I really just wanted to clarify, people are jumping the gun on the charges for Sarah Wondra. It's not official. There is a probable cause affidavit, but she has not been charged. And I'm going to go ahead and keep that up there in my list of stuff to share later on as people come in. She will be arrested upon release date next year, just like STACEY was, in my opinion. I actually said the same thing to somebody today. Last I heard, Sarah Wondra was supposed to be getting out in like February or so. Like, it's supposed to be coming up pretty soon in 2026. I'm wondering if they're going to do the same with her as they did with STACEY. Wait for her to serve up until the very end and then charge her. But again, that's just me talking about it. I don't know if that's how they're going to do it or when the charges are going to come. It could be sooner than that. Eileen, thank you so much for coming in. So Sarah Wondra has not officially been charged by the district attorney yet. So I just want to go over some more. Opal, thank you for being here. Hope Sarah is freaking out that STACEY has been charged. She deserves anxiety, fear, panic, and depression. You know what? She is freaking out. I've already heard she's freaking out. Yeah, February 26th is too far away. We need it to happen, don't we? We just want it to happen. We've been waiting this whole time, and now that STACEY's been charged and things are moving forward with him, we're all getting ants in our pants like, okay, where are the cuffs? We've got 3 more other suspects. Let's get the cuffs on them. Let's get the charges rolling and everything. But we know the court system. Oh, Brandi's in the house, and she is saying, hold on, chat is moving fast. Her release date, if you look for it, has been changed to 2029. Thank you for that update. I didn't know that. To be honest with you, I didn't look it up, but the last time I looked it up, it was for February of 2026. So that's great news. Thank you so much for updating us on that. No matter what, she's not going anywhere. She will be released and arrested. No matter what, she's not going anywhere. She'll be released and arrested. Well, good. Good to know. It is great news. Much love to you, Brandi and Tyler and the family. Thank you guys for all the support you're giving Brandi. Thank you for coming in, hun. We really do appreciate seeing you here. I know you've had a busy day. People knocking on her doors, phone calls. I spoke with someone earlier that spoke to her. Yeah, she's been kind of bombarded today. And she's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go have a Slurpee. I hope you enjoyed every single tiny sip of that Slurpee, hun. I really, really do. You deserve it. Amy from Boston. Good to see you here, hun. Toe Beans is in the house. Thank you so much for coming in. All right, so I want to continue going through some news clips. We'll go back and forth, I think. Here, I want to see something Shanna just put up. 2029 is when the sentence satisfaction date is, but her parole eligibility is 2/20/2026. So basically, she can get out then and will be on parole till 2029. What did she do? Question mark. No probation. Poor Sarah. Get her out of that one, Kay. Oh, wow. Yeah, Mama is not going to be able to save her this time. Not going to happen. Thank you, Shannon, my beautiful friend. Either way, she's staying behind those bars. I love you, girl. All right, so let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. I had to look some stuff up today. I had to look up what habeas corpus was. I had to look up what Deuce's tecum is. I see dates for other probable cause, things being filed by STACEY WONDRA. There's a lot to go over in the court documents, but I think one of the best way to really celebrate the fact that STACEY WONDRA was extradited and already has had his arraignment. Like, he showed up in Payette at 5:30 a.m. this morning and was in court early this morning. They're not messing around. They're just like boom, boom, boom. They had 30 days to go pick him up, and it's only been a couple weeks. So they're not wasting any time. Not any time at all. I want to play and share my screen and show you guys another news broadcast from this today. Okay, let me see. let's play this. We might have to watch an ad here.
Idaho News 6 and Albertsons want to make sure every Treasure Valley child has a happy holiday season.
Each year, children in need go without toys for Christmas, but you can help change that. Donate a new and unwrapped toy to your local Albertsons now through December 7th. Your donations will be distributed to area families, giving every child a chance to open a gift this Christmas.
Toys for Tots is brought to you by Albertsons, Welch's, and Toyota, and only from Idaho News 6.
I'm senior reporter Don Nelson live in Payette, outside the Payette County Courthouse, where STACEY WONDRA is back in Idaho. He arrived early this morning. Of course, we have reported on the story from the get-go. STACEY WONDRA, one of 4 people accused in the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. Now, I can tell you that WONDRA arrived early this morning from Arizona, where he was in jail on unrelated charges. As Idaho News 6 reported, STACEY WONDRA has been charged with first-degree murder and second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence. I asked Payette County Sheriff Andy Creech. He told me that Michael Vaughan's mother was in court here this morning, a family looking for closure.
I'm just hoping that this brings some kind of closure to the family. I know that they just want their son to be brought home, and that's really, I think, where most of us are at, that they need some kind of closure to this one way or another.
As you remember, and we have reported, 5-year-old Michael was last seen outside his family's Fruitland home in July of 2021. Sarah WONDRA, STACEY's wife, is in custody on unrelated charges south of Boise. And what was interesting, I asked Sheriff Creech the intel that they received in Arizona to get that information, to make that charge, and he was already incarcerated, and to get him extradited back to Idaho. Did he tell another cellmate? Did another cellmate hear him talking to somebody else? Did a guard working at the facility in Maricopa County hear something? Sheriff Creech says he doesn't know, but we'll find out. We'll continue to follow the story, but we can tell you that STACEY WONDRA is back in Idaho. He is in a jail cell in this building, the Payette County Courthouse, right behind me. And we'll have updates for you, of course, on Idaho News 6 later on today at 5 o'clock and, of course, at 10 o'clock tonight following Monday Night Football. Reporting live from the Payette County Courthouse in Payette, Idaho, I'm senior reporter Don Nelson, Idaho News 6. I'm senior.
Well, that's kind of interesting to hear some information that he was asking about why he was being able to be arrested in Maricopa County. If it had something to do with STACEY talking about the incident to either an officer or somebody that he was housed with there in prison. Very interesting. Lynn, thank you so much for joining us. This is Brandi's sister. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, girl. True crime junkie in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Brandi was on the news. I do not know which news she was on. Matter of fact, I'm going to check my messages real quick and see if I got any more recent. Nope. No more updates from anybody there. My phone, of course, has been blowing up today. I appreciate anybody that came in and, oh, well, Lynn's going to ask her. Yeah, send me that link, girlfriend, if you've got it. Let's see Mama Bear. Thank you so much for looking that up. Thanks, everybody, for, messaging me today. I already was on top of this last night because me and a few other people learned that STACEY WONDRA was being transferred from Arizona to another facility, is all that it said. So we were kind of like, another facility because he got in trouble in Arizona and was going somewhere else in Arizona, or was he being, extradited back to Idaho? And of course, we all learned this morning that's exactly where he went. Zane Lilly, my beautiful, beautiful moderator, very close friend whom I've been working with for years, all the way back to when I first started doing this channel and posting videos. Thank you for coming in. Thankfully, Idaho is one of 4 states that does not have the insanity plea as a criminal defense. Yeah, all they're going to do is send them somewhere to a facility, get them on some meds, and get them ready back for court if they try to plead any kind of insanity deal. Wild Wanderer in the house, thank you for coming. Yeah, Brandon is not getting out until like the 3rd or 4th of December. And he got incarcerated before STACEY WONDRA's charges down in Arizona. So I know he knows, but if he ain't got access to the internet, he's freaking out not knowing the in and outs of what's going on with STACEY. It has. ICU, it's been a great day, hun. It's been a fabulous day. You know, and as the family gets information, of course, days like this are going to be good days. And then that initial feeling starts to go away because of the fact that the Vaughan family are going to be bringing Monkey home. And I will stay positive about that. I will stay positive that Michael is going to come home. I keep hoping that one of these suspects will say something. He'll come home, but the family isn't putting, they're putting him to rest. He's not coming home the way they wanted him to come home. And as new information comes in, as arraignments, charges are here, at least on one of the suspects, STACEY WONDRA, there's 3 other suspects named in the disappearance or abduction, a murder of Michael Vaughan, Sarah Wondra, Adrian Lucian, and Brandon Shirtliff. And as all the information come in, and there is court hearings, the family's going to be hearing some very unsettling and very sensitive information about the way that their son died. But today is a good day. And Brandi Neal Vaughan and the Vaughan family got to go to court. They got to see STACEY WONDRA read his rights in a Zoom. And they know he's going down. He's going down for 1st-degree murder, 2nd-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence. And if anybody has any information about Michael's abduction, if you've heard anything, if you know the suspects and you heard anything from them, please come forward. Call the tip line 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. No tip is too big or too small. Let law enforcement decide whether or not your tip is credible. Not only would you be bringing a 5-year-old little boy home to their parents, to their family, even bringing some peace, but you can be Monkey's hero. Please, please call the tip line 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. There are people out there that know things. There are people. I'm going to check my messages real quick and see if anything new came in. Nope. I'm just going to keep going back and forth as the news comes in to report it. So let's look at another news clip. There is always ads. Let's see what this has to say. Hold on. Going too fast. Stop. Okay. What is going on here? Hold on, guys. I can't hear anything. Let me see. Maybe I need to back out and then just play it again.
New at noon, STACEY WONDRA, the man accused of kidnapping and killing Michael Vaughan, had his arraignment earlier this morning, and our Aspen Shumpert was in the Payette County Court for the hearing. It is now live outside the courthouse. Aspen, good afternoon. What can you tell us about what happened with this hearing?
Yeah, Joe, a very routine arraignment hearing today, which lasted all about of 10 minutes. Just before the show here, we did get a new booking photo from the Payette County Jail of STACEY WONDRA, the latest photo we have of him. It's important to note that WONDRA did not appear in person in court today. He did appear via Zoom for today's hearing. You could see the bottom of his screen said he was appearing from the Payette County Jail. Court records show he's charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and a persistent violator charge. Law enforcement extradited WONDRA from Arizona, where he's been serving time for unrelated charges. Earlier this month, we learned law enforcement served WONDRA's warrant related to the disappearance and death of Michael. Then 5-year-old Michael went missing in July of 2021 from outside his home in Fruitland. Joe, the judge has set the preliminary hearing for this trial on December 16th. We'll be here continuing to cover it and continue to giving updates to this years-long case.
And we'll continue to follow any possible developments today with new court filings. Aspen, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, it looks like he's got another charge, doesn't it, on there? There's 4. And that would explain what I also saw in the court documents. All right. So Anna is in the house. Not having the insanity defense may seem odd, but this is basically what happened to Ed Jean back in the 50s and 60s, mental hospital to get better, but never. Oh, in Wisconsin. Okay. Sea Care in the house. Just Donna's here. Thank you guys for coming in. All right. So let's go over it. Let's go over it. And we can go Cold November Rain in the house. Thank you for coming. TikTok, Brandon, Adrian, Sarah. Another Brandi is here. My father-in-law was Ed Jean's psychologist in prison. Oh, my. All right. Here we go. STACEY WONDRA's new mugshot in Payette. This is what I received last night. STACEY WONDRA was transferred from Maricopa County Sheriff's Office to another facility yesterday, November 16th, 2025. This was going on between me and many people. And that's why we were all like looking everywhere to find out if he was in Payette County this morning. And there's his mugshot again. I'm going to use my phone since all of this information is so small. All right, let me get in here so I can keep up with everything on my screen. Custody record, age 33, gender male, race white, non-Hispanic, his date of birth, Stacey James Wondra, his ID number, custody status date November 17th, 2025 at 5:15 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. He's in custody in Payette County Detention Facility. The booking date, November 17th, 2025 at 7:16 a.m. this morning. Quite interesting. Like I said, they are on top of it. They're not playing games, you guys. He is there and in custody at 5:15 this morning, and he is booked at 7:16 p.m. and then he is immediately arraigned. Immediately. Love it. They are not wasting any time whatsoever. And all of these mug shots, I love putting up the mug shots. Shelly, thank you for coming in. Oh, Brandi, my heart and prayers for you and the family. Michael made a difference in the world. He truly did. And I feel like he's just helping guide everybody in his case. All right, on to case information. State of Idaho plaintiff versus Stacey James Wondra, the defendant. Payette County Magistrate Court lists the file date for this, 6/25/2025. 6/25/2025, and let's talk about that. We know that the affidavit was filed 6/12 of 2025, right? That's the affidavit we've been going over, the probable cause affidavit. We also know that the felony fugitive warrant was written up on 6/11/2025. That was the warrant they had to serve him when he got out of prison, October 30th, 2025. So, again, we've got that this case number has been here. This has been filed with the court since June. It is active and it is pending and it is criminal. The party is the state of Idaho. It gives his date of birth. Payette County prosecutor, the defendant, Stacey James Wondra. And there are 4 charges, not just the 3 that we've been going over in the probable cause affidavit. There's murder in the first degree, second degree kidnapping, evidence and destruction. I believe that once, like, alteration, it doesn't, when you look it up, it doesn't say it fully, but I'm pretty sure that's an alteration. We know the probable cause affidavit says concealment of evidence, destruction, and now alteration. Persistent violator. So they're charging him with being a persistent violator. And I'm assuming that has to do with his GUN charges and just everything else. He's a violent criminal. Obviously, now that he's being charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping, he's a violent criminal. And STACEY WONDRA is getting the hammer. That's for sure. Bond settings 6/25/2025. So again, we're hearing another date from June of 2025. Events and hearings 6/25, a new case, criminal new case 6/25/2025, criminal complaint 6/25, affidavit of probable cause. And then there's a comment that's been redacted. 6/25/2025, affidavit of probable cause. So here are two other affidavits here. What are they? We spoke about this when we started going over the probable cause affidavit that we're currently going through, that we know is dated for 6/12/2025. We talked about the fact that they can always go back to a probable cause affidavit and change things. They can rewrite it. And there's lots of talk in the court proceedings about more probable cause. I don't know if it's the same or different probable cause, but they mention it here in June. And as we move forward, you will hear them talking about it even more. I don't know what Brandi is saying yes to, but I hope she's letting me know I'm right. Because everybody knows me and I'm a dinosaur and I don't know court documents. Several people looked at all of this information with me today. We talked about it. We went over everything. We looked stuff up on the internet just to make sure that, we know what we're talking about here at Missing PNW, because I just want to go over every single tiny little piece of everything. You know what I mean? Anyway. Have to put the picture of STACEY WONDRA in between everything, because that's the only way I can keep my court documents separate as we're going through this. So again, we got 6/25/2025, affidavit of probable cause. Unredacted is a comment. And then 6/25/2025, there's a report. NCIC. You know what? That is one thing I did not look up. I want to see what NCIC. National Crime Information Center. The National Crime Information Center is a computerized index of missing person and criminal information and is designed for the rapid exchange of, let's see, designed for rapid exchange of information between criminal justice agencies. Users access to NCIC computer located at FBI headquarters through regional and state computer systems or with direct tie-ins to the NCIC computer. The data is stored in 12 files: article, boat, Canadian warrant, GUN, interstate, identification index, license plate, missing persons, securities, U.S. Secret Service, protective, unidentified persons, vehicle, and wanted person. The booklets instructed cover the importance of accurate information. So this is just a large group of people pretty much all getting together via the FBI. So the NCIC is here report, it says. And then you see a motion to disqualify a judge. Order upon motion to disqualify without cause. The judge's name is Robert L. Jackson. And of course, I'm looking up any information that I possibly can on that as well, because we want all of the information. A motion to disqualify a judge is a legal request filed by a party to have the judge removed from a case, typically because of a perceived conflict of interest or bias that would prevent the judge from being impartial. This motion must be supported by a sworn statement, an affidavit. So maybe prior to this, we saw that 2 affidavits had been filed on 6/25. Maybe those don't have anything to do with the probable cause affidavit on STACEY WONDRA. Maybe it's because here it's saying the motion must be supported by a sworn statement, an affidavit detailing specific facts and reasons for the belief that the judge is not impartial, such as a financial interest or a close relationship to any of the parties in the case. Okay. And then moving forward, there is a warrant detention order issued. Arrest 5/25/2025. 7/2/2025, there's a subpoena issued. It doesn't give any information on who that was served on. And then another subpoena. Hold on one second. Let me see something. Brandi says, I have Michael's halfway embedded in my head, but written down in a very special place because I can't believe that my son is a number. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. That's got to be awful. Brandi also says, as I believe the confidence in the prosecuting team as well as the Fruitland Police Department. According to search assistant in Idaho, let me read this. Second-degree kidnapping occurs when a person unlawfully seizes or confines another person without the intent to obtain ransom. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, so here are 2 subpoenas on July 2nd, 2025, and then another subpoena is issued 7/17/2025, and it underneath it says Deuces Tecum. After looking this up, I found out that this is basically like a subpoena for the person being summoned to produce documents or evidence for the legal proceeding. Then there is more subpoena issued and an amended subpoena. Deuces tecum is a Latin phrase meaning you shall bring with you, most commonly used in law as subpoena deuces tecum. This is a legal command that compels a person to produce documents, records, or other tangible evidence for a trial or hearing. It is distinct from a standard subpoena, which only requires personal attendance for testimony. And what I find very interesting about that is this is one of the only ones that says Deuces Tinkum, or yeah, Tinkum. And there were many subpoenas served. So is that for attendance and or for testimony at the court hearing moving forward? It does not give specifics, but there are several here. (717) subpoena issued. Subpoena DT Phoenix, Arizona, BOP. There is a subpoena here for someone in Phoenix, Arizona, which I find interesting because we heard the news broadcast earlier when the reporter was wanting to ask whether or not somebody talked. And Brandi is saying that the NCIC is very important. And that's mentioned here in the court documents. But a subpoena to Phoenix, Arizona, BOP, where we know STACEY WONDRA was being detained. So that's very interesting. And that was in July 17th. Then there is 7/18/2025 motion to disqualify judge again. And we've talked about that, basically just trying to get rid of the judge because for whatever reason, STACEY WONDRA feels like this judge that he's wanting to get rid of is unfair to him or something. 7/22/2025 order upon motion to disqualify without cause was filed. 7/22/2025 another subpoena is filed. And then 7/22/2025 amended. A subpoena was issued and then amended. So lots of stuff being filed from June, July. Now we're moving into August. 8/5/2025, a motion to appoint counsel. Motion and affidavit to self-surrender. And then on August 14th, proposed order denied to self-surrender. Yeah, STACEY, you're not getting out of this regardless, right? Toasters in the house, thank you for coming in. Yeah, so the proposed order denied to self-surrender. Proposed order denied to appoint counsel. Um, 8/21/2025 motion. And this is the writ habeas corpus. Habeas corpus. Oh my gosh, I had to look it up to see how to even pronounce this. This sounds like it's a petition to bring the defendant before the court, for the court to determine if the prisoner's detainment is lawful. And we'll read more about that in just a second. 8/21/2025, there's an affidavit Does that have to do with, is it like a probable cause affidavit? Not sure. Are they updating something here, filing something to go with something else or another motion? Don't know. No details. And then there was a motion to dismiss all 4 charges by STACEY WONDRA. And now let's read about the habeas corpus. Let me get out of here real quick because this is so small on my phone. So the Legal Information Institute puts out about the habeas corpus, Latin for that you have the body. Federal courts can use the writ of habeas corpus to determine if a state's detention of a prisoner is valid. So he's filing this around the same time that he's trying to drop charges. And I believe this is why this is in here. Just trying to find my state's detention of a prisoner is valid. A writ of habeas corpus is used to bring a prisoner or other detainee and institutionalized patient before the court to determine if the person's imprisonment or detention is lawful. The habeas petition proceeds as a civil action against the state agent who holds the defendant in custody. It can also be used to examine any extradition processes used, the amount of bail, the jurisdiction of the court. So I think he's trying to drop charges and filing this so that somebody can prove that and determine if the person's imprisonment or detention is lawful. And then it goes on here, any several common law writs issued to bring a party before the court or judge, especially the habeas corpus, the right of a prisoner or detainee to obtain a writ of habeas corpus as a protection against illegal imprisonment. So was he thinking he was being illegally detained as he is trying to get charges dropped? Jesus, Stacy. I gotta find my spot again, you guys. Hold on 1 second. And then 8/21/2025, another affidavit, September 9th, 2025. So now we're moving on to September, a petition for writ of habeas corpus. Again, 9/9/2025, an affidavit of STACEY WONDRA. I'm thinking some of these affidavits go with some of the court documents that are filed. The defendant's motion for writ of habeas corpus. Objection in the court, September 9th, 2021. There was an objection to the defendant's motion. I object. We all object, Stacy. 9/9, the objection to motion to dismiss. 9/9/25, another petition to withdraw the habeas corpus. And then 9/16/2025, withdrawing writ of habeas corpus. So they're withdrawing it after a petition to withdraw it was filed. Nine 2025 order denying defendant's motion for writ habeas corpus and ordering defendant to properly serve future document. And then October 30th, subpoena issued through October 30th, Phoenix, Arizona BOP. And that was the day that STACEY WONDRA was released and then charged in Arizona. 11/12/2025, order governing proceedings. Order governing proceedings. 11/17/2025, which is today, there is an arraignment. The type, arraignment, it gives the judicial officer's name. Hearing time was at 9 a.m. He gets there at 5:15 a.m. He is put into custody. Everything's written out. He's got his mugshot and everything shortly after 7 a.m. this morning, and he is in court being arraigned at 9 a.m. The result of that hearing is held. State of Idaho prosecuting attorney, Payette County prosecutor, defendant STACEY James Wondra. Warrant returned, served, 11/17/2025. 11/17/2025, an order, request to obtain approval to video, audio record, broadcast, or photograph a court proceeding. Somebody put in an order to request and obtain approval for video, audio, record, broadcast, or photograph a court proceeding. And let's just hope that they will allow a broadcast in there, because I guarantee you, if that happens, I'll be right here every day that there is court, and we will sit here and watch it live. And I really hope, because STACEY hates it. You know, he wanted to be popular out on the YouTube streets, but he doesn't like people looking up his information. He doesn't want anything recorded, and I hope they're going to allow it. It's a huge case, and I believe we should all be able to watch it. I really do. Also, court minutes, notification of rights. So STACEY WONDRA is given notification of his rights, and then there's a waiver of extradition, application for attorney at public's defense expense. So it looks like he needs a court-appointed attorney. And then he's given, it looks like, order appointing state public defender John, what is it? Manhofer? Yeah, I can't pronounce it. Not good with names at all. The order of comment, no bond. So there is no bond. STACEY is stuck there. It's not going anywhere. No financial information exists for this case. So STACEY WONDRA is detained. He's been read his rights. I have an article here I want to go over real quick. STACEY WONDRA is back in Payette County to face charges related to Michael Vaughan case. State could seek death penalty. We know that's a firing squad in Idaho. Payette, the mother of Michael Vaughan, who was 5 years old when he went missing July 27th, 2021, showed up in court hearing on November 17th with her hair dyed blue, which was her son's favorite color. Michael was last seen outside of his family's home in Fruitland. "We just want Michael home," she said before the hearing, expressing that her family wishes to put him to rest. On Monday, STACEY WONDRA, one of the 4 accused in the disappearance and alleged murder of Michael, was arraigned on related charges. We no longer have to say on unrelated charges, do we? STACEY is in there on related charges to Michael Joseph Vaughan. This is just the start of justice for Monkey. Wondra was extradited from Arizona, where he was taken into custody from the crime immediately after his release from federal prison for unrelated GUN crime. Wondra was arrested for several charges, including murder in the first degree, kidnapping in the second degree, and destruction of evidence. He was formally arraigned on those charges in Payette County Magistrate Court today by Judge John, Mayenhofer, Adams County. And from what I understand, there's only a couple judges in Payette County. Payette County Judge Brian Lee was not available today. Lee is expected to take up the preliminary hearing on December 16th with a status conference on December 15th. So we've got 2 more court dates coming up. Wondra, who appeared by Zoom, waived a reading of the complaint. The judge explained that the weight of the charges, murder in the first degree, carries a maximum penalty of up to life in prison and or a fine up to $50,000. He said in this case, the state can also file to seek the death penalty. The kidnapping charges carries a maximum penalty up to 25 years and or a fine of $50,000, and the destruction of evidence charges carries a maximum penalty up to 5 years and or $10,000 fine. Furthermore, the judge said the state has filed a persistent violator enhancement, which we heard they added, a different charge. Persistent violator. Wondra said he understood the charges and the court took a brief recess so he could be read his rights. Wondra initially objected, saying he knew what his rights were. But the judge said in this case he wanted to be very careful about procedure. Wondra is being held without bail. On the day of Wondra's arrest, Payette County Prosecutor Mike Duke stated that it was the continued work by Fruitland Police Department that was able to bring the case this far. He also stated that although no body had been found, he was confident there is enough evidence to charge and charged the accused for the crime. And just a round of applause to Fruitland Police Department for doing a damn good job, for finding enough evidence for the district attorney to be able to move forward in Michael's case to bring us where we are today. They'll use the death penalty to compel them to tell where Michael is. I think that too. Fruitland has worked so hard, and now that we're going over this affidavit, we know how hard they've been working from the very, very beginning. The very beginning. Kyron's case that I work on has been going on for 15 years. The fact that they were able to do something, I mean, 4.5 years doesn't, it seems like a very long time, especially for the Vaughan family. But if you think about it, they were arresting Sarah. They were charging her for not reporting the death of someone. Had they pushed forward then, would they have had enough evidence? Would that have messed everything up? You have to find the evidence. You have to find everything. You have to take time to get all of the tips and find people to come forward. Look at all the subpoenas that are being served here. Those could be subpoenas on people, and this is only the beginning. There could be so much more, and oh my gosh, like so much is going on behind the scenes that we don't know and have been for over 4 years in this case. And it's all come down to this, being able to read STACEY WONDRA his rights, to be able to put him in a courtroom and tell him what he's charged with. And tell him what he's charged with. We have new hearings coming up now in December. Sorry, Stacey, you're not going to be having a great Christmas. And this is just stating that STACEY WONDRA, criminal, had his arraignment today at 9 a.m. STACEY WONDRA, criminal, on 12/15/2025 at 9 a.m. Status is conference. And then STACEY James WONDRA, criminal, December 16, 2025 at 9 a.m. will be a preliminary hearing. Great news today, you guys. And I am so, so happy to be able to bring everybody this news today. I want to go through chat. Hold on a second. I'm going to check my messages again. Just making sure. Channel 7. Lynn, if you're here, do you have a link for that? Channel 7? I already played a Channel 7. Let me see. We've already played that one and that one and that one. Let's look at some more that are coming in. This is STACEY WONDRA, the man accused of kidnapping and unaliving Michael Vaughan, appeared virtually for his arraignment hearing on Monday morning from the Payette County Jail, marking the latest development in the case that has spanned more than 4 years. The routine hearing lasted approximately 10 minutes, with WONDRA appearing via video conference. Court records show WONDRA faces charges on first-degree murder, kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and a persistent violator charge in connection with the death of Vaughan, who was 5 years old when he disappeared on July 21st from outside his home in Fruitland. Law enforcement extradited Wondra from Arizona. And here is a statement from Brandi Vaughan. I am glad he is back in Idaho. I am hoping he can give us the location of where Michael is. Justice will take care of the rest. The prosecutor's office, Mike Duke, has been doing a great job, as well as the Fruitland police. It's been 4 years and they have never stopped. Even when things have slowed down, they have never stopped. Please, if anyone has any information or is scared to speak up, please find it in your heart to do so. I believe there are others that have knowledge of what happened to Michael. And if you have any information in Michael Vaughan's abduction, please, please, please call the tip line. The tip line phone number is 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. And if anybody ever wonders why I don't keep this going at the bottom of my live, for whatever reason, as it plays, my computer gets hot if I keep it up too long, so that's why. But any tips to Fruitland Police, 208-642-6006, or email findmichael@fruitland.org. Okay, let me see something here. I want to look up some information as I'm being sent some information. Let me look this up. Give me 1 second, you guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting sent a link, but I have to type it in. So bear with me just a moment. Let's see. Let's hope I put all that in correctly. Hold on 1 second, and I'll share my screen with everybody so we can see this. Thank you guys all for being patient. I'm going to get to the comment section because I want to see what everybody is saying about the court documents. All right, let's take a listen.
Thanks for being with us on the News at 4. I'm Joe Paris. We'll start with our top story. The man accused of kidnapping and killing Michael Vaughan is back in the state of Idaho. He appeared in a Payette County courtroom this morning. Our Aspen Shumpert was there for STACEY WONDRA's arraignment. She joins us live outside the courthouse. Aspen, we know that court records were finally unsealed today, detailing new information about the case.
Right, that's right, Joe. And those documents were released to the public today because he did appear in court. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But first, look at STACEY WONDRA's booking photo from the Payette County Jail. He appeared today, like I said, again, this is where he's being held in the Payette County Jail without bail after being extradited back to Idaho from Arizona, where he was serving time for unrelated charges. Wondra appeared virtually from jail for his 10-minute arraignment today. He's charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and a persistent violator charge. As we previously reported, law enforcement served Wondra's arrest warrant related to the disappearance and death of then 5-year-old Michael Vaughan. He went missing in July of 2021 from outside his home in Fruitland. As Joe mentioned, a newly released probable cause affidavit filed in June lays out the interviews following Michael's disappearance. Again, during these initial searches, police say canines tracked Michael sent to the fence line of the home where STACEY WONDRA, his wife Sarah, and their 2 roommates, Brandon Shurtleff and Adrian Lucien, lived. All 4 of those individuals have been named people of interest in Michael's disappearance. One of Michael's neighbors told police they saw Michael riding a bike outside of the Wondra's home the day that he disappeared. Another neighbor said they saw that same tricycle at the Wondra's home during a garage sale months before Michael disappeared. The Wanderers initially denied any involvement, but then in November of 2022, STACEY asked to meet with investigators. The PCA states STACEY claims he was home the night Michael was allegedly abducted and saw Sarah carrying Michael into the house. STACEY allegedly told police it was Adrian's idea to take a child to sell for money, and they would get a $10,000 cut. STACEY claims Sarah told everyone to, quote, follow her lead. STACEY told investigators they took him to Brandon's mother's home in Kuna that night, where they left Michael overnight. STACEY claims the other 3 returned to Brandon's mom's house the next day and brought Michael back to the Wanderers' home in Fruitland. STACEY told police Michael was not alive, and Sarah and Adrian buried him in the Wanderers' backyard. 2 days after STACEY's interview with police, they executed a search warrant and excavated the Wanderers' backyard. The affidavit says cadaver dogs alerted to the same area where STACEY told detectives Michael's body was buried, but to this day, Michael has not been found. Law enforcement hasn't announced charges related to Sarah, Brandon, or Adrian. Now, Michael's mom, Brandi Neal, was in the courtroom today for today's hearing. She tells me that she is happy that STACEY is back in Idaho and hopes he will tell them where Michael is. She thanked law enforcement and the prosecutor and urged anyone who knows anything to contact law enforcement so they can bring Michael home. Joe, today the judge did set a preliminary hearing for STACEY WONDRA back here at the courthouse on December 16th. We will continue to cover this years-long case and give you updates along the way.
A lot to be uncovered and revealed publicly for the first time. Aspen Shumpert for the live report. Thank you so much. Thanks for being with us on
Webs of Deceit Untangled. Thank you for coming in. Heather Ann, Anna, Outdoorsy Life. Thank you guys all for coming in. I'm just sitting here today very, very thankful, grateful that the Vaughan family got to go sit in court and hear STACEY WONDRA being read as rights and charged. They've been waiting such a long time. Yes, Toaster, today is a win. Brandi, we will be sending love and strength, all of it. Amazing women you are. Stephanie Murray is here. Thank you for being here. Just getting here. Hope I didn't miss much. You missed all of the court docs, girl. You need to play it all over again. Thank you for coming in, though. STACEY WONDRA was extradited to Idaho this morning at 5 a.m. this morning. Everything went down by 7 o'clock, and he had court and was arraigned by 9 a.m. in the morning. We're just sitting here waiting for more updates as they come in. I'm going to mute myself real quick and look for one more thing. Hold on 1 second while I look at another article. I just want to make sure that it's not something we've already gone over. Hold on. Okay, I found something I want to put up. Hold on 1 second. Let me find this. Mama Bear is pissed off. She is mad. And who can blame her? Hold on 1 second. Still looking. Excuse my fingers as we go on typing here. All right. Got something new pulled up. Brandi is on the news here. Let's listen from Brandi Neal Vaughan.
For Idaho News 6, I'm senior reporter Don Nelson outside the Payette County Courthouse and Jail, where STACEY WONDRA sits in a jail cell. He is back in Idaho, accused of killing young Michael Vaughan.
You're pure evil. You have no heart. You have no soul.
Brandi Neal, the mother of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughan, was in the courtroom Monday to face STACEY WONDRA. WONDRA is accused of murdering her then 5-year-old son in 2021. I asked Neal why she went to the courthouse on Monday.
So hopefully he could see my face. And I need to be at every one of the arraignments and the hearings. I need to know where my son is and what they did to him in the entirety.
STACEY WONDRA is also charged with second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence. His charges were filed just 2 weeks ago while he was still in an Arizona prison on unrelated charges.
STACEY WONDRA has been transported up from Arizona to Payette County. He just arrived here this morning.
In 2022, STACEY WONDRA and wife Sarah WONDRA were named as suspects in the case. STACEY was already in custody and Sarah was charged with failure to report a death. Police excavated the yard of their Fruitland home but found no evidence, and Sarah's charges were dropped in 2023. Would you think you'll ever get the answer as to why?
No, because there is no answer to why. Why would somebody hurt an innocent little boy? What answer could you give? What answer could you possibly give? How scared was he? Did he ask for me? Did he ask for Tyler? I don't know. I don't know if I want to know that, but I think I deserve that.
Neal feels Monkey's presence with her every day and says Michael's younger sister talks to him all the time. Neal says her daughter learned at a very young age about the bad guys.
I think her last comment on the bad guys is the police can catch him and then she can kick him in the face. And I was like, okay.
Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff told me he's limited in what he can say other than he is pleased to see this case progressing through the court system. STACEY WONDRA is being held in Payette County without bond. He is expected back in court for a status hearing on December 15th, followed by a preliminary hearing on December 16th. Idaho News 6 will be there. Reporting from outside the Payette County Courthouse and jail, I'm senior reporter Don Nelson, Idaho News 6. For Idaho News 6, I'm
I spoke with Brandi last week, and I hadn't mentioned part of our conversation, but since she's talking about it here in this broadcast, I had a phone conversation with her. She was crying. She was very upset. And all she wanted to know was whether or not Michael asked for her, asked for Tyler, while they were doing horrible things to him and putting him inside that duffel bag. Horrified after reading the probable cause affidavit, reading details. And we cried together about it. And like she says, what answer could they have? What reason could there be for anybody to abduct a child so that they can make a buck? And then when things don't happen, whatever went wrong, they could have dropped him off anywhere. They could have put him back in the field next to the Vaughan family's house. Dropped him off on the side of the freeway. Anything at all. And instead, the most unimaginable horror happens. And now Michael is no longer alive and his family is suffering. And now they're asking themselves questions like, was he yelling for me, screaming for me, wanting his dad, asking about us? I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. And her heart is so big that I'm listening to Brandi, the mother of an abducted child, and I start crying because she's crying. Of course I'm going to cry. She knows I'm a titty baby. But she is, oh no, I'm sorry, Sam. She's apologizing to me for making me cry or feeling like she's making me cry. I have a heart. And listening to her be so upset was heartbreaking. And her heart is so big, she's apologizing to me? She owes me no apology. That's two friends on a phone supporting one another, breaking down with one another because there are horrific things being said as she's learning them. She had nightmares and everything. It's horrible. And yet they're going to have so much more to listen to hear, like just to listen to and hear, paperwork to go over, and even more details about what actually happened to him, about what actually happened to Monkey. It's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. And then there you have her letting STACEY Wondra know, like, you're a monster. You're a horrible person. And he's going down for it. He was arraigned. He was read his rights. He's being charged. There's no backing out now. No backing out now. And I do hope that Sarah Wondra is just freaking out. And I hope that Brandon Shurtleff may have some kind of way to hear things in jail, whether it's the internet or, you know, if he's not charged before he gets out and he does get out, I know the first thing he's going to do is start looking up everything. And I hope they're all shaking in their boots. Shaking in their boots. I had another link to me, or sent to me, another link sent to me. So let me look real quick. Let's see what else is out there. We're going to sit here for a little while and talk about all of the new information as it comes out. Listen to Brandi Vaughan. Let me see. I think I have another article. Hold on, that I have not shared yet. Let's see what this one is. Oh, no, I did share that one. And I shared that one for anybody. I just want to read this part of this news article from Idaho News, Channel 2. Sarah Wondra has not yet officially been charged by the prosecutor. Has not. Oh, I don't think I shared. Hold on. I clicked on it and didn't share. There we go. Sarah Wondra has not yet officially been charged by the prosecutor. CBS2 crews are in court for the hearing and will continue to update the story as we learn more. Sarah Wondra has yet to be officially charged. Good to see you, Connie. Thank you for coming in. There are a lot of creators jumping the gun here, and we've already had Brandi in the house a few times leaving comments and everything else. If I had been getting that wrong, she would have corrected me, but she talked about Sarah Wondra being in prison up and until could be 2019. She does have a parole hearing or a hearing, to maybe be able to get out, but she would have corrected me. She did not correct me when she was here. Sarah Wondra has not officially been charged. Vic, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for all you do for Monkey. Well, thank you for being here, being supportive of Monkey, the Vaughan family. I appreciate that very, very, very much. Thank you so very much. Let's celebrate a super chat. I just want Monkey home. That's what I want. I want Monkey home for the Vaughan family. If Stacy knows where Michael is, he'll say where Michael is. And I hope and pray out of all four suspects that Stacy Wondra knows where he is. Because Stacy has already rolled on all of them, and he will continue to roll. So I believe if Stacy Wondra knows where Michael is, he will speak. If Stacy Wondra doesn't speak and doesn't say where Monkey is, it's because he does not know. Maybe he was told that they were going to move him, but maybe he wasn't told where because they didn't trust Stacy because he's already rolling. But let's hope he does know, so he'll roll on everybody else and tell the family where Michael is. And if not, Brandon, Sarah, Adrian, if you want to make a deal, Brandi Vaughan has already said, I'll make a deal with someone if you just tell me where my son is. Keep that in mind moving forward, because you're going to be arrested. You're going to be charged. It's inevitable. There are 4 suspects. Do what's right. Sarah and Stacy have already confessed. Now it's time for them to tell law enforcement where Michael is. Exactly. And Brandon Shirtliff, we know you know where Michael is. Sarah didn't do all that on her own. She either told you to help her, or maybe you did it on your own. But Adrian wasn't even around in Idaho. And that only leaves Sarah and Brandon. Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shirtliff, Adrian Lucian, start talking. Tick, tick, talk. Make a deal. Tell them where Michael is. I probably can't even scroll up so far to find out what you guys said about the court docs. Did anybody see anything in the court docs that I didn't see? If you know court documents, let me know. Leave a message right now as I'm going over. But STACEY Wondra filed to have all 4 charges dropped. Give me a break. Like I said earlier, STACEY Wondra has had knowledge of these charges and what was coming while he was sitting in federal prison. While he was sitting in federal prison, he's filing things with court and everything. He knew what was coming when he got released from federal prison in Arizona on October 30th, 2025. There's been no delay whatsoever for STACEY's charges since Brandi announced it. When she first told us the DA was going to be pushing forward. No delay at all. I'm going to look up another. Let me see what this says. Hold on one second, you guys. I don't know if I've played this one yet. I'm just not wanting to repeat articles. Hold on one second. All I know is I absolutely loved hearing Brandi talk, seeing the news report, put that affidavit up on the screen with what has been said in the affidavit that we've been going over. It's huge. Huge. I have not. I have to go back through on the replay, or if anything, have Sam send it to me. He's probably talking about a broadcast. We've been sharing things with each other all day. Many of us have, as the day moves forward. I'm just looking through chat real quick. Yeah, I don't believe any of them will be free either. I think they'll all be cuffed and put away and charged. After reading the affidavit, Sarah has a lot more to do with the abduction and the plans that were made. Everything. I totally believe that she knows. Thanks for coming in, Batgirl. I really appreciate that so much. Darzilla is here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Give Brandi and Tyler their son back. Tell where Monkey is. I appreciate you for coming in for the super chat. Let's do a little dance in our chair. Let's do lots of dancing in our chair today. Not just for the super chats, but just because STACEY Wondra was arraigned and charged. I really appreciate you, Darzilla. Thank you so much for coming in. I have the best chat ever. I really do. You guys are awesome. It is. It's the best day ever, Connie. Couldn't be more happier today. And let's just send our prayers to the Vaughan family. Just keep praying for them and all of the difficult times they're going to be going through. Hanson, love this, Rhonda. Thank you. Yes, lots of prayers. It's going to be so hard. So hard. Mama B, you're so sweet. Thank you for coming in today. The most important thing to Ellie will be finding Michael. I believe they will. God help them. Yes, keep praying for that too. Let's keep praying law enforcement finds Monkey. That one of these suspects has it in their heart to tell law enforcement where he is. I mean, did anybody else notice too, inside that court arraignment, if you looked up on the screen, let's go back for a second. I want to see something. If you look up on the screen, and we've been talking about how much weight STACEY WONDRA has lost, no joke, when you see him here, let me just, where is that? First, let's hear Brandi again.
You're pure evil. You have no heart. You have no soul.
Brandi Neal, the mother.
And let's just talk about Brandi. Brandi, look how much weight you've gained. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Normally, we don't celebrate the weight gain of somebody, but man, before she had her liver surgery, she got so tiny. You look so good, Brandi. Oh my gosh, it just warms my heart so much to see how much weight you've gained. And the last time I think you updated us on your weight gain, you'd gained like, she was in the 80-pound range, and then she was up over 120. So I mean, like, she'd gained a good 30 pounds, 30 pounds. It's amazing to see you look so healthy, Brandi. It really,
Of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughan was in the courtroom Monday to face STACEY WONDRA. WONDRA is accused of murdering her then 5-year-old son in 2021. I asked Neal why she went to the courthouse on Monday.
So hopefully he could see my face. And I need to be at every one of the arraignments and the hearings. I need to know where my son is.
Brandi is an unstoppable force. She will arraignment. She will be at every court hearing. She doesn't have to be. She knows that. She wants to be. She wants these suspects to know I am here. I'm Michael Joseph Vaughan's mother, and I will get justice for my son. I will look you straight in the eye and let you know, if only by the look I'm giving you, that justice is coming and you're going down. She ain't messing around.
And what they did to him in the entirety.
STACEY WONDRA is also charged with second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence. His charges were filed just 2 weeks ago while he was still in an Arizona prison on
unrelated charges. Look how big he is here. Okay?
Unrelated charges.
STACEY WONDRA has been transported up from Arizona to Payette County. He just arrived here this morning.
In 2022, STACEY WONDRA and wife Sarah WONDRA were named as suspects in the case. STACEY was already in custody, and Sarah was charged with failure to report a death. Police excavated the yard of their Fruitland home, but found no evidence, and Sarah's charge.
Look at that yard. There's nothing left. Not even the big trees that were there. They dug 3 to 4 feet down, excavated and sifted through so much dirt in that backyard. So much dirt. Right around the corner from the Vaughan's family's home. Having to look, like the family had to listen to these trucks coming in and out of the neighborhood. And the family knew exactly what they were there doing. They were told what they were there doing. Waiting on pins and needles the entire time, wondering if law enforcement was going to find their son in the Wandra's backyard, to only later learn that Michael Vaughan had been moved. It's gut-wrenching.
Charges were dropped in 2023. Would you think you'll ever get the answer as to why?
No, because there is no answer to why. Why would somebody hurt an innocent little boy? What answer could you give? What answer could you possibly give? How scared was he? Did he ask for me? Did he ask for Tyler?
There is absolutely no answer. She is right. There's no answer you can give to why their son was taken. It will never be able to be answered. And even if answered, it's never even going to make sense. All the family knows is you took our child. You took our brother. You took our nephew. You took our grandson. And we want him back. We want him home. They want the peace of laying him to rest. That's all they want.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to know that, but I think I deserve that.
Neil feels Monkey's presence with her every day and says Michael's younger sister talks to him all the time. Neil says her daughter learned at a very young age about the bad guys.
I think her last comment on the bad guys is the police can catch them and then she can kick them in the face. And I was like,
I believe Buggy would. I really do. I believe she would kick him and kick him and kick him and just not stop. Even Buggy is an unstoppable force. They all are. Brandi's father has been in chat. They're all pissed. They're all hurt. They're all going through so much. And 5-year-old Buggy is learning about the bad guys. Well, let's just thank God the Buggy knows the police are doing their job, right? And the bad guys are going down. I really wish he could kick him in the head.
okay.
Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Hupp told me he's limited in what he can say other than he is pleased to see this case progressing through the court system. STACEY WONDRA is being held in Payette County without bond. He is expected back in court for a status hearing on December 15th, followed by a preliminary hearing on December 16th. Idaho News 6 will be there. Report.
I want to share my screen on another one. 5-year-old Buggy, same age Monkey was. Ugh. Isn't that heartbreaking? She's the same age as Michael was when he was abducted. Bubble and Blue, along with Tyler and the family members, need justice. Blue is so strong. She has graduated high school, on to move on to college and move away from the home, and all of that. Getting through school, graduating high school, when her little brother's gone, missing, abducted, knowing what happened. Her brother, or Monkey's brother, Bubba, doing things for his college courses, his stuff. It's amazing that these kids are showing such amazing resilience in all of this. Pushing forward, fighting together. This family's so strong. So strong. And I'm sure they have their moments when they all break down. But you know what? They're standing together and law enforcement standing with them. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Reporter Don Nelson live in Payette, outside the Payette County Courthouse, where STACEY WONDRA is back in Idaho. He arrived early this morning. Of course, we have reported on the story from the get-go. STACEY WONDRA, one of 4 people accused in the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. Now, I can tell you that Wondra arrived early this morning from Arizona, where he was in jail on unrelated charges. As Idaho News 6 reported, STACEY WONDRA has been charged with first-degree murder and second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence. I asked Payette County Sheriff Andy Creech. He told me that Michael Vaughan's mother was in court here this morning, a family looking for closure.
I'm just hoping that this brings some kind of closure to the family. I know that they just want their son to be brought home, and that's really, I think, where most of us are at, that they need some kind of closure to this one way or another.
As you remember, and we have reported, 5-year-old Michael was last seen outside his family's Fruitland home in July of 2021. Sarah Wondra, STACEY's wife, is in custody on unrelated charges south of Boise. And what was interesting, I asked Sheriff Creech the intel that they received in Arizona to get that information, to make that charge. And he was already incarcerated, and to get him extradited back to Idaho. Did he tell another cellmate? Did another cellmate hear him talking to somebody else? Did a guard working at the facility in Maricopa County hear something? Sheriff Creech says he doesn't know, but we'll find out. We'll continue to follow the story, but we can't.
Because both governors of Arizona and Idaho had to sign off on things. There are subpoenas in here going out to the prison or Maricopa County. So, yeah, the same question is, did STACEY talk to somebody in jail? An officer? A roomie? Something in those court docs.
And tell you that STACEY WONDRA is back in Idaho. He is in a jail cell in this building, the Payette County Courthouse, right behind me. And we'll have updates for you, of course, on Idaho News 6 later on today at 5 o'clock. And
more updates at 5 o'clock. Let's listen to another one. They show STACEY WONDRA, and that's what I'm looking for. Clover in the house, thank you for coming. I think it may have been 7. Let's see. I had to go out and then come back in to play this earlier.
To say I'm fired up about this one, guys, that would be the understatement of the century. Kurt Warner is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2017.
Going into season 4 as captain of your Sens, Brady Tkachuk. Welcome to Locked On Senders.
One of the most famous Chargers of all time. We have Sean.
Thanks for being with us on the news at 4. I'm Joe Paris. We'll start with our top story. The man accused of kidnapping and killing Michael Vaughan is back in the state of Idaho. He appeared in a Payette County courtroom this morning. Our Aspen Shumpert was there for STACEY WONDRA's arraignment. She joins us live outside the courthouse. Aspen, we know that court records were finally unsealed today, detailing new information about the case.
Right, that's right, Joe. And those documents were released to the public today because he did appear in court. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But first, look at STACEY WONDRA's booking photo from the Payette County Jail. He appeared today, like I said, again, this is where he's being held in the Payette County Jail without bail after being extradited back to Idaho from Arizona, where he was serving time for unrelated charges. Wondra appeared virtually from jail for his 10-minute arraignment today. He's charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping.
Right there. You can kind of see STACEY WONDRA in the yellow. Look at his shoulders. Look at this shirt. He has lost so much weight. So much weight. Tiny.
Kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and a persistent violator charge. As we previously reported, law enforcement served Wondra's arrest warrant related to the disappearance and death of then 5-year-old Michael Vaughan. He went missing in July of 2021 from outside his home in Fruitland. As Joe mentioned, a newly released probable cause affidavit filed in June lays out the interviews following Michael's disappearance. Again, during these initial searches, police say canines tracked Michael sent to the fence line of the home where STACEY WONDRA, his wife Sarah, and their two roommates, Brandon Shurtleff and Adrian Lucien, lived. All four of those individuals have been named people of interest in Michael's disappearance. One of Michael's neighbors told police they saw Michael riding a bike outside of the Wondras' home the day that he disappeared. Another neighbor said they saw that same tricycle at the Wondras' home during a garage sale months before Michael disappeared. The Wondras initially denied any involvement, but then in November of 2022, STACEY asked to meet with investigators. The PCA states STACEY claims he was home the night Michael was allegedly abducted and saw Sarah carrying Michael into the house. STACEY allegedly told police it was Adrian's idea to take a child to sell for money, and they would get a $10,000 cut. STACEY claims Sarah told everyone to, quote, follow her lead. STACEY told investigators they took him to Brandon's mother's home in Kuna that night, where they left Michael overnight. STACEY claims the other three returned to Brandon's mom's house the next day and brought Michael back to the Wanderers' home in Fruitland. STACEY told police Michael was not alive, and Sarah and Adrian buried him in the Wanderers' backyard. 2 days after STACEY's interview with police, they executed a search warrant and excavated the Wanderers' backyard. The affidavit says cadaver dogs alerted to the same area where STACEY told detectives Michael's body was buried, but to this day, Michael has not been found. Law enforcement hasn't announced charges related to Sarah, Brandon, or Adrian. Now, Michael's mom, Brandi Neal, was in the courtroom today for today's hearing. She tells me that she is happy that STACEY is back in Idaho and hopes he will tell them where Michael is. She thanked law enforcement and the prosecutor and urged anyone who knows anything to contact law enforcement so they can bring Michael home. Joe, today the judge did set a preliminary hearing for STACEY WONDRA back here at the courthouse on December 16th. We will continue to cover this years-long case and give you updates along the way.
KBTV 7 has done an amazing job covering this case. And again, she even kind of just reiterated the fact that no other charges, Sarah, Adrian, Brandon, for Michael Vaughan. Sarah WONDRA has not been officially charged in Michael's abduction and murder. Hold on one second. I'm just looking through chat. Callie says here, I remember him mentioning something in the body cam footage where he was talking about losing weight, but he is diabetic, so maybe Ozempic. Yeah, I don't know. He's definitely lost a lot, though. Yes, everything is so very sad. But today we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate monkeys getting justice. STACEY is a diabetic. I think he is in federal custody, or he was in federal custody. Maybe they treated the disease, or no fast food in jail. Friends said their cars were full of fast food wrappers. Yeah. Well, STACEY's saying that he was a diabetic, but we only heard that Sarah was for the longest time, and then all of a sudden STACEY's saying that I don't know whether or not to even believe that he's a diabetic in all actuality. Shannon says that the sad reality of all of it is people that have never been in our shoes with situations like this will never know what it feels like. And that is so, so true, Shannon. Shannon has lost a family member, and that's her story to tell. But my heart is with you, hun, and I pray for you all the time. law enforcement is looking for, monkey, still continuing to search. It's still ongoing investigation. I don't think they're ever going to give up on searching for Michael. I know in the search for Kyron Horman, don't go out there doing searches. You find anything, any hunters out there, any people out there doing recreational things, see anything, please turn it into law enforcement. Do not touch it. Do not do anything with it. Just turn it over to law enforcement. Turn it over, call it in. Why did Stacy lose so much weight? Interesting on how did he lose? It is stress. And, I've thought about that too. Johnny R. Kramer, the Music Movie Channel, here talking about Stacy's weight loss as well. I have thought about the same thing. He has known about these charges for quite a long time. So maybe just the stress of knowing what was coming, knowing he could be spending the rest of his life, knowing he could be facing the death penalty, not knowing whether or not charges will actually happen and he will be 100% charged and go down for everything. Will he be the only person that goes down for it? Like, so much must be going through his head. And then, you still hear him, his sarcastic self, still talking to people on the phone, bragging about the fact that, I told her to put that affidavit out. Well, his ass didn't know what was in that affidavit. Did not know what was even in it, even though he asked somebody to put it out there. Poor Stacy, he got his vacation cut short in Arizona. Oh well, could not have happened to a nicer guy. Fun to ski. Thank you so much for coming in, and yeah. I hate saying it, and I am not saying this to hurt Brandi because she knows I love her and the family, but unfortunately, from personal experience, you never fully get closure. There will never be closure for having something so horrific happen to your son or any family member. The loss of somebody is traumatizing, and then when you add to it whether someone's been murdered or not, or abducted, lost, or even a 5-year-old child of yours, like the Vaughan family, there's no such thing as closure. I believe that. The only thing you can do is try to find peace in your heart. And if you can, excuse me, maybe find the peace to let things go. But closure, the Vaughan family, other people that have been through this, they think about this for the rest of their lives. Just going through chat, everybody. Thank you guys for coming in. Oh boy, must be witness statements in that jail. Yeah, there could have been. Stacy likes to talk. Stacy likes to talk, and we know that he does. Alrighty. Let me look real quick and see if anything else news came out. I want to go to YouTube because sometimes they just even have shorts. See if there's anything. Jay for Justice put out a short. We've watched that one, and that one. something we're going to be going over here very soon. I want to talk about it while I'm seeing it here. Hidden True Crime had an interview with STACEY WONDRA that was put behind a paywall for their Patreons. And the husband, actually, John, does the interview with STACEY, and he is like a psychiatrist, a very well-known psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever it is. And he does an interview with STACEY, and the whole thing has just been released. And even though we've talked about STACEY WONDRA's shit show and his YouTube, I want to watch it. I want to watch it with everyone here. I want to talk about it as we're watching it, just like we did the rest of STACEY WONDRA's YouTube shit show, and hear what STACEY WONDRA is talking about with him. I think it's very important to go over. I've had lots of messages by people asking me to go over it, talk about it. So we're going to do that this week. And there's still some information in the probable cause affidavit that we will be going over this week as well. There are a lot of shorts going on. I'm not seeing anything else new. It looks like I've covered all of the news articles or news reports from today. There will be more later this evening. So as the week goes by, we're going to be able to talk about it, as we'll be going live this week a few times to talk about things, to go over that interview with John from Hidden True Crime. I've actually seen the majority of it. So Jupiter Tarot in Australia. Wow, can someone be that big and not be on the verge of being a diabetic or full-blown diabetic? He was big before, and he ate nothing but fast food and didn't he did not eat very healthy. You know, Shannon, and if you ever feel like it, you know you have this platform. You have all of my love and prayers going out to you. If you ever want to talk about what happened, you know, I'm here. You are more than welcome to come share your story. He is imprudent eating prison food. He's not getting all that junk. I'm sure that would also help him lose weight. That is very true also. STACEY would have to go put a GoFundMe up to get what he was used to feeding junk, and more drunk. Oh my gosh, I know, right? He was doing GoFundMe. He was getting gift certificates. Oh my gosh, he was getting gift certificates for Walmart, buying himself clothes. There were creators getting him gift cards so that he could go buy food. There were, you know, sending him food, doing like DoorDash and stuff. And, you know, STACEY WONDRA's even hitting creators up, being like, you know, pay me some money and I'll come up. I mean, he just showed up in my chat when I had him and Brandi on panel. I didn't take no damn money. I would feel like that money was so full of filth. I would never. And I definitely wouldn't be giving him any money. Right, I'm just still looking through comments, seeing what everybody has to say. Today's a big day, and I really care about what everybody has to say. Seashore Girl, thank you for coming in. Sickening. And I totally agree. Everything that's happening is sickening. To just hear it all, to know how, you know, Brandi's having these feelings of wondering whether or not Michael wanted his parents before he was unalived. And it's just horrible. Everything is just horrible. Angel Girl, thank you so much for coming in, always being supportive here in chat, always throwing up blue hearts and monkeys. I see you. Yeah, it's just not our job to do Fruitland's job. It's not our job. The police have a handle on it. Let me just read through here. Right, pretty assessor, thank you for coming in. Oh my God, she looks and sounds so good, so beautiful. She's gained so much weight. You know, she's losing that yellow tint that she had before she had her liver transplant. Brandi looks amazing. Lynn says, I fucking love you, sissy. And I love you, Lynn, because you are such an amazing friend, sister to Brandi. They met each other, Brandi's 16th, sweet 16th birthday. They've been friends ever since. Lynn has always been there for the Vaughan family. She's amazing. She was giving updates during Brandi's hospital visit. I just appreciate her so much. I really do, Lynn. Thank you so much for sharing, for being loving and kind. This community of Monkey's Army has just really come together. Beautiful Brandi. She is so beautiful. When I first saw that interview and I saw her little chunky cheeks, I was like, yes, yes. We don't get to celebrate weight gain very often, but I'm and he says maybe Adrian will learn Spanish and go to a sanctuary city. His chances might be better with ICE and a Venezuelan prison. I don't want him to do anything but serve his stuff right here, right here. Again, I just want to say again throughout the live, Sarah Wondra has not officially been charged. It's in news articles. I have verified and confirmed family members, people that are close with Brandi have said she has not been officially charged. Yes, there's a probable cause affidavit. It looks just like STACEY Wondra's, but she has not officially been charged yet. Connie says, Brandi, you look beautiful. Love you. Thank you so much. It's so nice to see her healthy, isn't it? Anna, thank you so much. She describes that she's expressed how she has helped by passing flyers out and stuff. One at the Farewell Bend freeway exit this afternoon. Thank you so much for sharing, Michael. That is the one thing you can do is share Michael's story. And for those just joining us, STACEY Wondra was extradited back to Idaho at 5:15 this morning. He was in court at 9 a.m. this morning being arraigned. He was read his rights. He knows what the charges are. And, you know, there are court documents. I need to look and maybe even file some kind of FOIA or something to see if we can find out any details. in everything. Halo Art says Brandi is a warrior, mama bear, and we are Monkey's Army. We will never stop, and we won't. We'll never stop. We stand with the Vaughan family here at Missing PNW, and I'm sorry if your opinion's any different than that, because it is not true. It is in the probable cause affidavit that law enforcement doesn't think in any way, shape, or form that the Vaughan family had anything to do with what has happened to Michael Vaughan. They stand with the family. Webs of deceit untangled. The ball is finally rolling towards getting justice for Monkey. Yep, it's about damn time. It's about damn time. In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental woman. Right? Sorry. Outburst. Excuse my outburst. Bubba says Brandi, and we will be sending love and strength. All of it. Amazing women you are. I'm going to go down and see if anything else is new down here. Let me just get down here real quick. Laugh out loud. I love you, Sam. You know what? You can't be so serious all the time. You can't. You can't be serious all the time. And thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Sam. Love you all. I just break out with some of it sometimes. I do. I hope I got all you guys to laugh. Absolutely not. 100%. Oh, she didn't pass out anything. She just reported that it was still up in Farewell. Then, okay, sorry, I read your post wrong. Well, thank you even still for reporting it, because you're talking about it and you're sharing Monkey, and that's important. Jupiter's Tarot and Astrology, you are wonderful, or doing a wonderful job in keeping us updated and reading all of this to us. Great work, my friend, Missing PNW. Sam, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. I'm in love with Michael Vaughan now. They're stuck with me. Oh my God, the depths of the survivors. I love you, Lynn. And you too, Callie. I love you all so much. My heart is just so loving. I just love everybody that comes in. Scotty Two Hotties in the house. I just saw you. I'm scrolling through and then I lost you again. I found you and then I lost you, but thank you for coming in. Baby Kisses is here. Hello, hun. Sam, I have watched all too caught up in recent. I have got to say, I have learned more from you. I can feel your passion through these screens. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that very much. It's all for the Vaughan family and Monkey. That is for sure. I don't know how I got caught up in all of this, but I did. And I just love them all so much. Thank you. You guys make me blush. Thank you guys. Avi in the house. Hello, my beautiful Avi girl. Thank you for everything, Sam. You have worked so hard. I appreciate you. I had to throw a fit today with Avi on the phone. She's the one person I can call when I'm all caught up in my emotions and I'm all caught up and frustrated and whatever. I'm like, Avi, I got a vent. Here it is. And she listens and she's there for me. And I love her to death. Thank you so much for letting me vent and get emotional and do all the things. We do it together, right? We've definitely, with so many of you, became a family here. I just saw, where'd she go? Beverly's here. Hello. For everybody joining, STACEY WONDRA was extradited back to Idaho, and he was charged and read his rights and had his arraignment this morning. OG Nanny in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I see you, and I ran past you, and then I lost you. So many people are commenting. I'm just losing everybody. Oh my goodness. All right. Always take care of your mental health. Remember, if nobody told you today, you matter. Thank you so much for your kind words. All right, let's listen to Michael Vaughan's Mama Talk one more time. One more time, and then I'll get out of here. Let me see. Let's take a listen. Let me rewind.
For Idaho News 6, I'm senior reporter Don Nelson outside the Payette County Courthouse and Jail, where STACEY WONDRA sits in a jail cell. He is back in Idaho, accused of killing young Michael Vaughan.
You're pure evil. You have no heart. You have no soul.
Brandi Neal, the mother of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughan, was in the courtroom Monday to face STACEY WONDRA. WONDRA is accused of murdering her then 5-year-old son in 2021. I asked Neal why she went to the courthouse on Monday.
So hopefully he could see my face. And I need to be at every one of the arraignments and the hearings. I need to know where my son is and what they did to him in the entirety.
STACEY WONDRA is also charged with second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence. His charges were filed just 2 weeks ago while he was still in an Arizona prison on unrelated charges.
STACEY WONDRA has been transported up from Arizona to Payette County. He just arrived here this morning.
In 2022, STACEY WONDRA and wife Sarah WONDRA were named as suspects in the case. STACEY was already in custody, and Sarah was charged with failure to report a death. Police excavated the yard of their Fruitland home, but found no evidence, and Sarah's charges were dropped in 2023. Would you think you'll ever get the answer as to why?
No, because there is no answer to why. Why would somebody hurt an innocent little boy? What answer could you give? What answer could you possibly give? How scared was he? Did he ask for me? Did he ask for Tyler? I don't know. I don't know if I want to know that, but I think I deserve that.
Neal feels Monkey's presence with her every day and says Michael's younger sister talks to him all the time. Neal says her daughter learned at a very young age about the bad guys.
I think her last comment on the bad guys is the police can catch him and then she can kick them in the face. And I was like, okay.
Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff told me he's limited in what he can say other than he is pleased to see this case progressing through the court system. STACEY WONDRA is being held in Payette County without bond. He is expected back in court for a status hearing on December 15th, followed by a preliminary hearing on December 16th. Idaho News 6 will be there. Reporting from outside the Payette County Court.
The round table is going live. Brandi could, or maybe not, I don't know, could be at the round table now. So I'm going to get down off of here, go over to the round table and show some support today. Because I do not have my granddaughter today. I just want to thank everybody again for coming in, for fighting for justice for Michael Vaughan. And let's just celebrate a little bit real quick that STACEY WONDRA I know that's just my super chat, but whatever. It's a good day. Rogue, thank you for coming in, hun. I see you. No worries. STACEY WONDRA was extradited back to Idaho. He had an arraignment this morning. He's being charged. You can do the replay crew. We went over all the stuff. Sarah WONDRA has not officially been charged. I have now verified and confirmed that. Justice for Michael Vaughan, strength for Brandi. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you guys all for coming in. Sherry Hill, thank you for coming in. I just really appreciate everything. We're Monkey's Army. We're not going anywhere. The Vaughan family is stuck with each and every one of us. And it is such a blessing to be able to be here. Thank you, KB. I really appreciate that. It's a blessing to be here, to be able to do what I'm doing for the family and trying to make a difference. Just trying to make a difference, you guys. This case weighs heavy on my heart every day, just like it does so many other people. We have people from all over the world paying attention to Monkey right now. All right. Let's do some blue hearts and some monkeys and go join the round table. Let's listen to anything they have to talk about and put up, and maybe Brandi Vaughan will make an appearance over there. Michael Vaughan was abducted July 27th, 2021 from Fruitland, Idaho. In his neighborhood, the four suspects are STACEY WONDRA, Sarah WONDRA, Adrian Lucian, and Brandon Shirtliff. The only one suspect that has been charged in Michael's abduction and murder and destruction of evidence is STACEY WONDRA, and we came together today to celebrate the fact that he was arraigned today, November 17th, 2025. If you have any information about Michael Joseph Vaughan's abduction, know anything, heard anything from any of the suspects, we heard today that the mother, Brandi Neal Vaughan, believes that there are people that has information about her son's abduction. And if you have any information, please contact the tip line in Fruitland, 208-642-6006, or email findmichael@fruitland.org. We're Monkey's Army. We're never going to give up. We're going to keep fighting. We love you, Brandi and Tyler. We love all of the Vaughan family. Sissies that were here and chat today, my love and my prayers and even my heartache is with all of you today, as I know that even though it's a day for celebrating justice, it's also a very difficult time. Thank you guys all for coming here and being a part of Monkey's Army.